Welcome, everybody. Welcome to episode 18 and the season finale of Ask the VP. And today we're joined by Evey. Welcome, Evey.
Hi. Hello.
How are you? You okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good, good. So, Evey, you probably know the
Yes.
format by now. What we're going to do is we'll run through your questions
Uh-huh.
from 2 p.m. We've mixed in the community questions from last time when we were going to have you on
Hmm.
and this time when we announced it. So we got both mixed in some community questions from both
Okay.
posts.
Sounds
Um,
good.
and once we've done those, we'll put it out to the people listening to see if they want to ask you a question live.
Okay.
There we
Sounds
go.
good.
So without further ado, let's go.
Let's do
So
it.
So you've been part of the virtual community for a long time,
Yes.
but I'd like to know a bit more about how it started. When did you discover VP and what drew you to it as a hobby?
Hold on, let me check my notes here. Um, well, when I first it wasn't actually VP when I started doing it. It was more like
Yeah.
like documentation of my journey because I used to play Fallout 76 a lot with a friend, and
Yeah.
we just take like goofy pictures or whatever. And she told me to make a Twitter so we could post it, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll make one. And yeah, it was mostly just that at first, and um, it was
So you,
it wasn't until
so you,
what's that?
no, I was going to say, so you were just kind of documenting your journey through
Yeah, it
Fallout
wasn't
and just
like
sharing your journey through the
actual
game.
like emulating photography or anything like that. It wasn't until I don't know, maybe a couple months after discovering the that it had a photo mode that I was like, hey, I could just, walk around and take some pictures, like, when she wasn't online or whatever. It was just me by myself. And um, I would just walk around in the world and just whatever caught my eye, just take a photo of that. And that's how it started. And my
Yeah.
actual real first photo mode, though, was Days Gone. Like, that was,
Ah, yeah.
yeah, that was the game that I was like, oh my God, this looks so good.
And the photo mode's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I love the just the nature aspect of it and how realistic it looked. So
Yeah,
like you really could take that love of photography, traditional photography, and apply it to that game because of just how realistic and how good it looks. And
definitely, definitely.
yeah,
And it still stands the test of time
it
to this day, doesn't
does.
it? 'Cause
Yeah,
when was
it
it?
looks
Was it
great.
2019 that came out? I think it was. I think it was
I think
2019.
so.
But yeah,
18 maybe? I don't know. I
may-
couldn't tell you.
maybe. So, have you done photography, real life photography,
Um,
or
it's more of as a hobby, just dabbling with it here and there, and
yeah,
but it's definitely a lot more time consuming, and it's more of an effort to put yourself out there for that. So
definitely,
I feel that, with VP, you can still apply that, creative ability somewhat
it just gives you that
here.
freedom. It gives you that freedom, doesn't
Right.
it? You've
Yeah,
got a lot more freedom, not as much pressure, and
exactly.
you know,
And you're
you
not
don't even have to leave the house.
outside in the elements and yeah, definitely cozier VP.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Do you find like the stuff that you do in VP, do you find you use some of that when you do take some pictures outside of VP as well?
Oh yeah, yeah, like trees, leaves, puddles when it's raining.
Yeah.
Just the usual stuff that I do post.
So you've got an extremely emotive and moody style to your shots, and
Hmm.
it's really instantly recognizable. If I'm scrolling through my feed, I know when it's an evening shot. You can just tell. And is this style something that's come naturally and is kind of representative of you and your feelings, or is it something that's been refined over time through your VP experience? And Lisa on X also asked this question. Yeah, so is it
Hmm.
representative of your feelings, or has it just developed?
Um, well, it's kind of a bit of both because, I pretty much had no idea what I was doing at first.
Yeah,
It's a lot of experimentation, a lot of finding your style, finding yourself and what you want to put out into the world, essentially.
yeah,
So it kind of took me a while to be able to express that properly, I guess.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
yeah, it took a long time to find that balance because you also have that in the back of your mind to where, oh, people like the more colorful stuff, so I should post the more colorful stuff, because that's what it's gonna has like the better numbers. Or but
yeah, yeah.
also I felt that that doesn't represent who I am as a person. So
Mm,
slowly I started to let go of that idea that you need to um you need to treat it as, something that you want to do for yourself, not
yeah, yeah.
not for
You're not just
anything
people
else.
pleasing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
So you kind of like the kind of feelings that you have, or kind of
mhm,
how you are, is what comes across in your style.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
How I am and what I'm drawn to and what I find interesting, visually appealing.
Yeah,
And yeah, I'm also um I really like the like when a show or like a movie has like that dark aesthetic and
yeah,
that editing it looks beautiful. So that also, kind of helped me to better, like you said, refine my style over time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's really clear to see that in your VP it comes with your feelings and
Hmm.
expressing yourself, maybe your mental space, that kind of
Oh,
thing.
thank you.
Um, and no, it really does. You can kind of get that even just like from the color palette of it and the
Uh-huh.
tone of it.
Or
You
the
can
lack of
feel that part of it.
the lack of color.
No, yeah, but it's got such distinctive color to it,
Hmm.
and that putting your feelings through your VP like that is
Hmm.
it shows a lot of you. And obviously, the subject of mental health is, it's a difficult topic. It's a
Right.
topic that I hold very dearly, and the awareness of that and
Right.
through other mediums like VP
Yeah.
is a great thing.
Like
Um,
that page that you started. That's it's great. I actually I love that. It's amazing.
But the thing is that when you look around the community, there's so many people affected by so many different
Hmm.
things. You know, we don't know what goes on other people's lives. People could be going
Exactly.
through really hard mental times and things
Yeah,
like that.
for sure.
And if if VP isn't a way to express that or
Hmm.
release that, it's brilliant.
Form of
And I know
escapism for some.
exactly. And socials aren't the easiest place to be on.
Hmm.
It comes with the good, it comes with the bad. Um, and we're not going to go into detail because I know it's personal, but
Right.
you've had some extremely negative experiences with Twitter, X, socials, but
Hmm.
you dealt with it directly, you dealt with it in your own way, and you've literally bounced back and you're sharing us with your amazing art again, which we're extremely thankful for, by the way.
Thank you.
And I don't want to go into the details, the ifs, the buts, and everything what happened, but
Hmm.
do you have any advice for people who go through things like that on a social platform, and how you kind of process and deal with it? Because there's obviously lots of ways to deal with it, but
Right.
you seem to have done it in a really positive way and come back like stronger. And yeah, you just smashing it out of the park. If there's any advice you've got for people going through that same sort of thing.
Thank you. I mean, it definitely wasn't easy. I did take a really long break and had a lot of help from
Yeah,
friends and, people that I care about. Um, I think in the long run, you just pretty much have to just be careful who you trust online. I know
yeah,
that's very broad and that's very self-explanatory, but um, I think after that, I started to be a bit more guarded in my interactions and kind of put up more of a wall.
yeah,
So, this in of itself is, I think that's why it's very difficult. But
yeah,
I feel that if you're just gonna hide and you're just going to, then that just, I don't want to let that beat me, or I don't want to let that situation have so much hold over me. So,
exactly.
um, and this isn't to say anything about the VP community. I've had nothing but positive interactions here. Like, this is just more of in the broad sense that there's so many people online and you just don't know who you're interacting with, so.
It's it's so- it's so true because we speak to each other all the time. Like we said
Right.
about knowing what's going on with other people's lives. You don't know what goes on with other
Mm-hmm.
people's lives. You have to take people at face value,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes that it goes wrong. You trust things, what someone's saying or how they are.
Yeah.
It's really difficult because you don't know actually some of these people you deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the fact that, like you said, doing this, it's not easy for you, but it's taking the power away from people
From the
who are,
negativity
whether
and turning it
exactly,
into a positive, because essentially, that it'll really weigh heavy on you if you just don't learn to let go of all that.
exactly. And it's such a, social VP community is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I've personally experienced really minuscule toxicity or drama. It's a really like friendly place. And but socials in general, no matter what age you are, maybe
Mm-hmm.
especially sometimes for younger ages when you're at school and things, it's
Exactly.
such a powerful thing that can change your life.
Mm-hmm.
So, how you've dealt with it and how you've explained it there, I'm sure there's probably a lot of people listening to this or listen later
Right.
who'll take on that simple advice is just don't let it beat you.
Exactly.
Don't let it
And
shape
I
you.
think honestly, also the most important part is to turn to that support system, to people that that you can trust. Um,
Yeah,
because there are people that do care and they'll have your back.
exactly. And I think 99.9% of the community is like that.
Exactly.
You're always going to get a
Yeah, and
minority.
like for example, that page that you started, I think it's a great way for anybody who feels alone. It's, they have that support system. And
Definitely.
if anything, if anybody that's listening to this that's ever felt that they don't have anybody to turn to, they can always come to me and I'll always listen.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's the thing. And I think that's the reason why myself and Troy set up that page. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a page there to have followers or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally just there, as you said, as a support system. We're not
Exactly.
professionals. We
Right.
can't give, professional advice, but it's just someone to talk to. And I
Sometimes
know
people
Troy,
just need to vent, to let out their frustrations.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And, if we help one person or one person reaches out just for a chat, that's all we want out of it. It's that if people need it, it's there. If they
Mm-hmm.
don't need it and we don't get contacted, brilliant, because it means people
People
don't,
are doing great.
they don't. Exactly, exactly. But that's why we pop that out there. And yeah, it's if anybody needs to talk, and we've said this on numerous interviews here, we normally talk about it about reaching out, about finding out about VP and style. But if you do need to talk to anyone about anything, nobody's going to judge.
Exactly.
Whether it's VP Safe Space, whether it's me personally,
Hmm.
if you need to talk, just talk. I'll just listen. Nobody's going to judge. But no, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Thanks for sharing that,
Of
Evie.
course.
That's really, 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 really good. So if we get back to your style then, because we know that you put a lot of yourself into your style, um, and this question and List Shoots also asked the same sort of question on X is do
I
you
love her
achieve your
question, by the way.
yeah
She's so
do you
sweet.
achieve bless her do you achieve this style through in-game photo modes or do you post edit to achieve the desired mood and just talk us a bit through your process.
Okay, honestly, I don't spend too much time taking the actual shot. Like when I'm playing, I'll see something that, oh, I like this field over here, this flower or whatever. It has nice lighting, so I'll take a picture of that, usually no more than a minute to set it up.
Yeah,
And because it's environment, you're kind of just walking around, and portraits does take a little bit of more effort, in my opinion,
yeah,
because you have to get that right expression, you have to get the lighting, and yeah, it's um a little more tedious. But
yeah,
for what I like to do, it's more of, I think what takes the longest is just figuring out what I want to capture, or what what will catch my eye. And that's essentially like the most frustrating part, because sometimes you can't really come up with anything.
yeah. No, exactly.
But yeah, I think,
So you tend to post edit a lot of it in then, so that the kind of style side of it.
yeah, but also the lighting that you're able to capture in within the game itself is very important.
Mm,
Um, like if the game has some kind of time of day setting or lighting system, even if you're not taking a portrait, you can still use the lighting system to light up some aspects of the environment. Um, I don't know if others have mentioned that before, but
no, definitely, yeah. Lighting is probably one of the most important things, isn't it, in
yeah.
in setting up. Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, I edit in Lightroom, which that's probably, I mean, now it's not so much a process as much as it used to be, because I kind of already know when I'm taking the shot, I already have a specific color tone in mind that I want to do. So
yeah.
it's
So you've got so many presets saved with different color
exactly,
tones. And
yeah.
yeah,
It's like
I
green,
need those
green,
presets. I
green,
need them.
green too, and like,
Yeah,
and I have some for specific games, and um,
it makes the process a lot easier, doesn't it? Once
it
you've
does.
once you've manually done it
And what
a couple of times, you
what's
save those
really
presets.
helpful in Lightroom, and what helped me to learn it, was they actually have like a lot of free presets that you're able to download.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you just go in there and you kind of open it up and figure out what each thing does and play around with it. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be great, even it's not going to look good. But that's the essentially that is the process. It
mm.
took a long time for me to, and it still doesn't feel like I know everything. I'm not saying I'm an expert, or I know everything, but yeah, it takes a lot of patience to go through it and to learn it and figure out what does this do and how do I change the color to this, and because the colors in games and real life photography are very different, so you kind of have
Yeah.
to tweak it and mess around with it to get that desired look. Um, but
And do
honestly,
you
it's not as daunting or scary as it seems. Just play around with it. With any, it doesn't have to be Lightroom. It can be any other, you know, software.
it's just tweaking it, isn't it? Just having that,
Yeah, it's
and I
just
suppose
playing around
the
with
learning
it,
process.
figuring out what each thing does, and just lots of practice.
And do you use Lightroom on PC or laptop, or do you do it on mobile?
PC. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have the like my fingers. Like I lots of respect to people that edit on their phone, but yeah, I can't do that. I'll like I get really frustrated because the the sliders are tiny and I'm just like I can't do
Yeah,
this.
yeah. That, that's why I love the presets. I just use presets all the time. And you mentioned there about free presets.
Yeah, there's a
That's
lot of them,
exactly what I've
and
done.
there's actually a lot of decent ones that you can, kind of manipulate and basically just make into your own.
And
Um,
that's the beauty of it, isn't
mhm.
it? Is you, once you've got the preset and you tweak it, you can then create your own preset. And like you
Right.
said, you've done, you can then say this is for, let's say, Spider-Man, for instance,
Hmm.
Spider-Man group, and then your color tones. It's once you've done it a couple of times and you've got used to the system, it's so easy, isn't it?
Exactly. Unless you get bored and you're like, well, I'm bored of these colors, so I need to figure out.
Yeah. But it's such a good tool. And like you said, there's other apps and bits and pieces that do the same. I think
Yeah.
what the message
But
generally is just
the
have a
the
play.
reason why I like Lightroom is because it gives you that freedom to really make it your own with each setting. It's very in depth, and if you use like an app or it the filter is already there for you. You can't change it. You can only
Yeah.
determine how the strength of it basically, but you can't tweak each individual setting in that filter.
Yeah. It's got a lot of customization, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, so Infinite Without Fulfillment has asked.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we've talked about your kind of signature style,
Yeah.
what you're known for.
Uh-huh.
So, Infinite Without Fulfillment asks, do you ever leave your comfort zone when it comes to VP? And if yes, what do you usually shoot something different, or do you try different edits?
Um, I think I do try, but for me, that's when VP becomes frustrating because I don't feel that I'm going out of my comfort zone for myself. I feel that I'm doing it more because maybe people want to see something different, or maybe they're bored of seeing my trees or like a random house. They want to see a picture of Spider-Man, or they want to see something with action, and there's people that are amazing at that, and they're great, and they're so talented at every style, but I don't feel that that's me.
Yeah.
So when I do try, I just end up getting frustrated. So I don't really try as much as I used to. I think that was more when I was trying to determine what kind of style I wanted to do, or when I was, I guess, finding like what I liked, which was
Yeah.
a few
Yeah.
years ago.
And that's the thing. Once you found kind of like your niche or your
What
style,
works for
that
you?
is,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it is. It's what works for you. And I like the fact that you said when getting out of your comfort zone that it's kind of more for other people because they
mm-hmm,
want to see other things. And I think that's really true. I mean, yes, you can branch out and try
mm-hmm,
different things, but it's true. I think if you found your style and it works and
mm-hmm.
you love it and you're posting what you love,
Yeah.
stick in your comfort zone.
Yeah, I think so too. Like I would hope that, when you do want to try other styles, that you're asking yourself, am I doing this for myself or am I doing it for the audience? So,
Definitely.
say if you want to create or if you're simply performing, and I don't find the performance part enjoyable, I just want to create.
No, it's a good way to be. A good way to be. So we've got a question next from Bianca.
Ooh.
So Bianca says, has our time talking on Party Chat helped your creativity? And if so, why?
Um, yeah, she was so excited to ask me this. Yeah, it definitely does because I go through these periods where I don't really feel like playing anything.
Mm,
And sometimes she's like, "Let's play, let's hang out, let's talk for a bit." And that kind of motivates me to get on there and, you know, try to take some stuff. So it
yeah,
definitely helps to get out of my head for a bit.
yeah. And it kind of ties back to what you're saying earlier about kind of like the friendship side of it,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
exactly.
You know, the especially, I mean, Bianca's amazing. I love Bianca.
Yeah, she calls herself an introvert, but I don't believe her.
No, she's not an introvert at all. Definitely not. Definitely not. But no, I mean, it is brilliant that, when you make friends, whether it's through the hobby or you've had them before and you have share the same hobby,
Exactly. Yeah,
you know,
it's very very productive, and she adopted me, and she made me want to be a little bit more extroverted as well. So I have her to thank for that.
bless her. She's definitely not an introvert. Don't believe that at all. Bless her. Bless her. So, your signature style of VP has piqued the interests of game studios as well. So, having the vice president of Naughty Dog talk about and comment on your shots in one of our previous issues,
Oh my goodness.
as well as as well as going on to collaborate with Naughty Dog on a VP theme for I think it was Last of Us Day back in 2021
Mhm.
after they reached out to you. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that collaboration came about?
Yeah. Well, honestly, that was amazing. When I saw that message, I was like, "Why is Naughty Dog messaging me? Oh my God." Um, no, it was great. Probably the best thing that has happened um my whole time on Twitter, X, whatever. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that it was definitely the highlight. Um,
So
so
what did they do?
they
They just dropped you a message.
Yeah, I still have it probably. uh, they they reached out to me and a few others. They wanted us to host or to come up with a theme that they felt best represented each individual person. So for me, of course, I went with nature,
Yeah.
and um, they were going to. So I was going to pick the ones that I liked and just send them, like spam them with um, photos of different
Yeah.
people, and they they were going to go through them and share their favorites. Um, and there was a lot of so many great entries, and I was I was not upset, but I was hoping more would get featured. But there's
Yeah.
that time issue, and um, no, but it was great. It was an amazing honor, and
Oh,
the
that must,
the magazine too. That was also like one of the best things.
It's such a compliment about your work, though, isn't it? If you love a game or you love a franchise,
Hmm.
which let's be honest, we know you love The Last of Us,
Yeah.
so it must have been you must have proper geeked out when you read that and then had that message come through as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely um rewarding in a sense.
Yeah,
Like, hey, I must be doing something right if they actually noticed me. Um,
that is so
yeah,
cool,
it's
so cool. So
and
obviously you're a fan. Oh, sorry, carry
no,
on.
no, no, go ahead.
No, no, no. You go. You go.
Um, I wasn't really doing it for that purpose of getting that recognition or anything like that. I was just, posting or sharing The Last of Us just because I simply love it. So to have that happen without, I guess
You didn't go after it, did you? So without
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was just more of it was so unexpected and even more amazing, in my opinion. I don't know.
Oh no, definitely, definitely. If it was me, I would have printed out the message and framed it on my wall.
I thought about that. I'm not
Amazing.
gonna lie.
Do it. Definitely do it. Definitely do it. So, so we know you're fans of the Last of Us games. So, big question:
Yes.
which is your favorite, part one or part two?
Um, I always feel like I'm betraying part one when I say this, but part two, definitely. I just feel like the style of that game is it's a lot more me,
Yeah,
it's ironic that it's my comfort game because it's depressing. But I don't know, I feel so comfortable and at home when I play that game. It's
yeah.
um it's that connection to the characters definitely.
I
Um
definitely agree. Definitely agree with you. You know,
what's your favorite
I
game?
think well, no, I would say two as well, purely because, and I love the character. I love Joel, love
Hmm.
Ellie, and all the characters in the first game.
Hmm.
But for me, I felt more in the story of the second game.
Yeah, for sure.
I never really, you kind of get from the story in the first game, Joel seeing Ellie as his dead daughter, all that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
But I didn't feel it.
You
But the
didn't?
story, no, not,
You
not,
monster.
not, I'm not, no, 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 no. I'm not, I'm not heartless. I'm not heartless. I did feel it, but it didn't resonate
As
like the
much.
emotion in the second game.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, don't hate me, everyone. Don't hate me. But no, but
Um,
I didn't expect the second one to have that much of an effect
oh, yeah,
on me emotionally.
for
So no,
sure.
it's really good. But
Mm.
obviously, part two was quite a divisive game for some because of the story.
Hmm.
Um, wow, yeah, the start of it. We're not going to spoil it for anyone who's never played it, but didn't see that coming. Um, so, which team did you end up on? Team Ellie or Team Abby?
Um, I know this is like pretty basic, but Team Ellie always. Um,
Oh,
just I don't hate Abby, of course, but of course I had the initial hate, like what the hell just happened, and
yeah,
but after sorry, my AirPod keeps falling out. Um,
that's all right.
after playing it a few times, of course, you're going to understand and you look at it from all sides. And honestly, the writing and the story is one of the most interesting I've ever played in a game.
Mm, it
To
was
me,
brilliant.
at least.
Uh, so we've
Um,
had a question. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say we've had a question from Uko who's
Okay.
saying, "What are you hoping for the most from The Last of Us Part 3?"
Um, I don't
So,
know because I feel like if they bring Ellie back, they might kill her. So I I just hope that that doesn't happen because Ellie is my favorite character probably in all of gaming. Just because she's flawed like anybody else, and she's not made out to be this perfect hero, or she's not trying to save the world. She's just trying to save herself and her soul, I guess. And
yeah, no, definitely.
I feel like I resonate with her and with what she goes through. And yeah, so going back to the other question, that's it answers why I will always choose Ellie. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, as far as part three, I don't know, they could do anything, and I'd be happy with it as long as it's not killing
So he
Ellie.
said, definitely not. So Uko actually says he'd love to play Tommy and Joel's survival story just after the pandemic started,
Oh, that
because
would
obviously
be cool.
you've got that time gap, haven't you? So
Yeah, 20
would
years,
it,
I think. Yeah,
yeah, would it be cool to go back and play that
for
story?
sure. It would be amazing. But I think that now with the show, there's a lot of room to hopefully include some of that in there. And playing it would be amazing. But I feel like maybe that would work better as like a DLC or something. I don't know if I'd want a full game
Yeah.
of that because I am curious to see where Abby's story continues, and Lev. I grew to love Lev's character. So I would hope they would keep the story going forward and not backwards. In my
Yeah. So
opinion.
yeah. So you touched on the TV series. So obviously
Hmm.
the TV series was on this year. What did you make of it? How did you like it? Did you love it? What did you think of some of the different changes?
Um, I feel bad saying this. um, I liked it. I didn't love it
Yeah.
simply for I it felt very rushed. A lot of the episodes, some of them were, an hour, 30 minutes or something, but there were some episodes that were so short, it felt like it just flew by. There were what, like 45 minutes or something.
Mm,
And the pacing was a little off, and I do understand why. It just I was hoping for a lot more that you don't see in the game because
yeah.
they had that ability to add a lot more to it, more depth, more dialogue that doesn't exist in the game. Um, some of the scenes didn't hit the same. Like for example, the farmhouse one with Ellie and Joel
Yeah.
when they're in that when they're fighting, it
Hmm.
definitely didn't hit like in the game, and that that really sucked because that's
And I think,
one of my favorite parts in the game, but it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the same. But there
and
are a lot of things that I did like about it.
I suppose it's hard as well when there's such a beloved franchise like The Last of
Right, like
Us,
there.
and you know the characters and you
Mm-hmm.
visually see the characters from the game. When you then go into a TV series, as much as they're good actors, good
Uh-huh.
characters,
Yeah.
you're still looking for the characters from the game, aren't you?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I guess it's hard to deviate from that love from like the original, you know, it's always going to be your first love. So
Yeah.
it's hard to compare, but there were, you know, some amazing elements of it. Like cinematography was great. There were some lines in there that I know weren't part of the game. Like for example, that scene where Pedro, that he's so good in that one scene in Jackson when he's talking to Tommy.
Hmm.
Um, that was probably my favorite part of the whole show, and the Sam and Henry episode was also great.
Oh, I love that
I
episode.
actually thought it was sadder in the show than in the game, so they did great for that one. Um, yeah, I guess
And
I did like it, but I expected a little bit more.
maybe they'll up the ante a little
I
bit
hope
in
so.
season two.
I hope with its success they'll put more
Definitely.
time, or they'll make the episodes longer than these were.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. And hope. And I've seen some of the casting rumors for Abby, and I'm not feeling it at the
Oh
moment.
yeah, the that actress, yeah, she's great, but I don't know if I see her as Abby.
No, definitely not. We'll see. We'll see. That they
It's
might
just a
make us
rumor.
eat
It's
our
just
words.
a rumor, so
Yeah,
we'll see.
exactly. So, so back to VP then. So we talked about your VP, your emotions that drive your style, but where else do you find inspiration for your virtual photography? Whether that's media, other virtual photographers, where else do you find your inspiration?
Um, oh yeah, like you mentioned, media, you know, film, TV. I find that it's very important to, if you enjoy that, to just study a lot of the angles that they use. It's very helpful for VP. Um, like for example, I love The Last of Us, so I would watch a lot of The Walking Dead just to kind of study the way that they capture that abandoned
Yeah,
landscape, and it was very helpful. It just gives you that inspiration that um, you're looking for, and also a lot of traditional photography. There's so many great ones. I know we have some actual photographers within the VP community that are extremely talented. Um,
so I'm interested actually because we've obviously talked about the inspiration, and there's one thing I forgot to ask you about The Last of Us as well, because you mentioned that you've obviously you love the game, you played the games.
mhm.
How many times have you actually played The Last of Us games?
uh, Putting me on blast. Um, the first one, well, I did play that one back in 2013. So that was actually like the big like segue into like gaming. So that's what like
Mm,
essentially got me into playing games because I wouldn't really play anything besides like Mario Kart or so that one, the first one, I don't know, probably like 15, 20 times, maybe more.
wow, that's a lot of time, isn't it?
Yeah. I did
Do you,
debate buying it on PC, but I was like, no, you know what? I've played this way too many times.
do you find yourself playing it and finishing people's lines when they're talking now that you've played it so much?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I already know what's coming.
Yeah.
Part two, in its entirety, I've only played it 3 times
Yeah.
because that one you can actually it's not as light and fun as the first one, so it's not really an experience that I can sit through multiple times. So when I do feel like playing it, it's usually just a chapter select.
Yeah. And now they've obviously announced
Right.
the upgrade in
So
January.
I have to sit through that again.
You have to. And
Mhm.
the biggest thing, they obviously said that they're going to upgrade obviously graphics and bits and pieces, but upgrade the photo mode as
Oh
well.
my goodness. I already have 500 hours in that game. I can't imagine how much more I'm gonna have.
We're now going to have lighting, and we're going to have the gaze option, so we can change where
Yeah,
they're
that's
looking.
that's new for console too, so that's huge.
It is. When that came out for PC on part one, as a VP who takes a lot of portrait shots, like we need that setting. I was so disappointed they didn't patch it in, and now they're
Yeah,
putting it in.
I know. They did
Like,
add
I'm
the
excited.
extra t-shirts, but not the not the
Not
gaze.
good. No, but no, it should be really good. So yeah, you're going to have to play it again, I'm afraid.
I am. It's okay. Endure and survive.
Definitely, definitely. So besides VP, what other hobbies and interests do you have?
Um, do cats count?
Cats definitely count, and I see Becky's listening, and she'll agree. Cats definitely
Yeah,
count.
I love her cats. Well, we did mention the film and the TV. I love to watch a lot of that just to study color and lighting and color grading, lighting, um, cinematography, framing. Um, I also have a lot of house plants. I don't know if that's a hobby.
That's a hobby. If you keep them alive, that's a
Yeah,
hobby.
they're definitely all alive.
Definitely.
I have over like 50, maybe 60. I don't know, I lost count, but I have a lot.
60 house. Do you live in a forest?
I might as well.
60 house plants. That's loads of house plants. I've just got this picture of you now sitting there doing this interview with just covered by leaves. That must take a lot of watering each day.
Yeah, well, I don't water them every day. You kill them. They don't need water every day. It's every week.
That's why I don't have plants. I'd kill them.
Yeah, you definitely would.
So
Um,
you said you said you watch like movies and TV.
yeah.
What's your top three movies? What movies do you like?
Um, well, I really love the Lord of the Rings series. Like that's something that I can rewatch every single year. Usually around this time
Hmm.
too, like around December, November, they feel very magical to me. Um,
And do you like the second? Do you like the Hobbit films as well? Or is it the first trilogy you like, or all of it?
I do like The Hobbit, but I didn't watch those when they originally released. So I don't have that like as much of like affection for them as
Hmm.
much as the original trilogy. That one I did grow up with, and I've watched them like so many times. I think I was 12 when I saw the first one.
Yeah,
Um,
they're, they're so good.
I also like a lot of thriller, like mystery, like about murder and
I'm seeing where your tone's coming from now in your VP.
I'm not a psychopath, I promise. Prisoners is actually my favorite thriller. It's a very dark um mystery movie or thriller. Um, and I also really like horror movies. But I know some of them are very campy or they can be cheesy, but I don't know, I just they're also comforting for me.
Yeah,
I really do sound like a psychopath.
You don't sound like a psycho. I'm sure there aren't any bodies hidden in all your house
Um,
plants.
yeah, so I guess I went by genre. So I went with Lord of the Rings and Prisoners, and then I went with this a horror one that I really love called House of the Devil.
Not heard of
Um,
that one.
yeah, it's very cool. It's supposed to look like it was shot in the 80s, but it's from like 2009, I think. But it just feels
Okay.
like super authentic, like the movies. I'm sure his inspiration was, 80s horror movies, and yeah, it's very cool.
I'll have to check that one out. So does your kind of darker taste translate into music as well? What sort of music do you listen to? And Bianca also asks, do you listen to music when you're taking shots?
Yeah, she did ask me that. I don't anymore. I really used to listen to music when I would take shots, but now it's very I don't play as much as I used to, which is it's pretty disappointing. But
Mm,
I think maybe just with time, you kind of hit that wall, so
yeah,
your creativity just kind of dies down a little bit. Like you said, I've been a part of the community for a long time.
yeah,
um, but yeah, when I do feel like it, I listen to a lot of indie alternative um, folk stuff, like atmospheric,
yeah,
like um, Bon Iver, stuff like that. Vancouver Sleep Clinic,
yeah.
Radiohead is also one of my favorites. Um, I also really love Lana Del Rey.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorites. Like yeah, a lot of chill stuff, and it's not necessarily dark, but it is very helpful to translate that mood of
yeah,
the music into what I like to shoot and edit.
yeah. I thought you were going to turn and say you love death metal, and I thought that literally did that. That's like 3 out of 3 for me for VP movies and music taste.
No, I actually used to, but that's back in the day.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
I've since calmed down.
So it's now time for my favorite question. Well, I shouldn't say favorite question because this obviously is interviews about virtual photography. So, but it's one of my favorite questions.
I
What's
have
your
it right
favorite
in front of me.
food?
um,
You,
yeah, I have the questions here, so I'm like, I know which ones he's gonna ask. It's the fuck. I'm sorry. Pasta. My favorite food, actually.
pasta.
Yeah, like any kind. I just love how like you can just make it like so many different ways. You can add a bunch of different things to it, different vegetables, different chicken, or different chicken, different proteins. um, yeah.
Do you make your own? Have you made your own pasta?
Oh yeah, it's my favorite thing to cook. It's relatively easy. Yeah.
I don't know if I've got the. I don't know if I've got the patience to make fresh pasta.
Oh, to make okay, yeah, no, no, I've never done that. I thought you meant like the sauce
Ah,
from. I was like, yeah, no, not the actual
yeah.
pasta.
So
No, hell no.
yes. So when you said you make it, it is just putting it in water and cooking it, not actually making it
Right,
fresh
yeah,
from.
with like the dough and everything. Yeah, no,
It's too much
although
effort.
I've always wanted to, but you need that machine, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, we'll let somebody else make it. We'll just cook it.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. No, I love pasta too.
It's so
I've
good.
got
It's the only thing is I always feel like extremely full after eating it. Like my metabolism is just like, don't feed me pasta anymore, please. can't handle it.
Dear, no, pasta's lovely. What I can't. What have I got tonight? I've got a risotto tonight. Going
Ooh,
posh.
fancy.
Yes, salmon and asparagus risotto.
Ooh, that sounds good. I love salmon.
Oh yeah, salmon's really really nice. And we've
So
discovered like
good.
if you rather than buying like big bits of salmon,
Uh-huh.
which can be expensive, we buy. They do little packs of what they call salmon trimmings,
What's
and
that?
I don't know what part of the salmon it is, and I don't want to ask too many questions, but
You just know that
it
it's good.
tastes. Yeah, it's good. It's really good, and it's cheaper than buying like a salmon steak or
Uh-huh.
anything like that. But oh yes, it's good.
Huh,
Really
that's
good.
new.
Really
I don't
good.
think they sell it like that here in the States. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, it is good. So yeah, that'll be me later having some risotto.
I'm
So
jealous.
so back to back back to VP and gaming then. And I was going to ask this question. I think know what the answer is going to be already. It kind of sounds like a bit of a stupid question now. So, what is your favorite game to capture, and is it The Last of Us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's just the game that I put on when I don't feel like playing anything, when I don't feel like listening to a story or dialogue or just mindless, you know, walking around and shooting stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And but haven't done that in a while, honestly, because I'm really trying to finish the games that I have. Like
Oh, typical, isn't it?
I just bought the Assassin's Creed DLCs. It was on sale, and I was like, oh, I should do
Which
it.
one have you bought? Which one have you bought?
It's the what's it called? It's the one set in Ireland for Valhalla.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The Wrath of the
Yeah,
Druids.
I have that one, and then it came with another one. I don't remember what
Um,
it was called.
Siege of Paris. That
Yeah,
one.
yeah, it came with
Yeah.
that one too. And
Oh, yeah. I love Valhalla.
and
I
I
love
haven't even
Valhalla.
finished the actual story. So
Me neither. Me neither. Me neither.
really, that's
I was
crazy
having a
because
com.
you post that game so much,
It's the game that started my VP journey in 2020, and I was
and you
talking
still haven't
to
finished it. That's insane.
no, no. I was talking to Jack and Aaron, who does the weekly articles for the ones who came before for
Uh-huh.
VP,
Yeah.
and we were having the conversation that it is such a damn long game, and no, I've never ever finished it. But this time, this playthrough, I'm going to finish it. Decided.
Yeah, you should.
It's really
You can do
long,
it.
really.
Just power
Yeah,
through it.
mate, we'll get there. We'll get there. But no, those DLCs are really, really good. And Dawn of Ragnarok's good as well. The other DLC.
Uh-huh.
No, that's not DLC. It's the expansion.
Yeah. Um,
Cool. So
yeah, and I did finish Spider-Man, so it was great.
it was good, wasn't it?
It was so good.
Good.
I wish it had that time of day because I really
So
wanted. No.
there is a way there is a
Oh.
way you can change the time of day. So it's a bit of a glitch. So if you make sure you do a manual save before you do it, but
Uh-huh.
if you go into the Mysterio, whatever they're called,
Uh-huh.
if you walk into one and then press pause as you've walked into it,
Okay.
and then if you press when you're in pause, it should give you the option to restart it so if you press that, if you do that at certain ones around the map, it changes it to a different time of day when you come out. I'll find the
What?
video and I'll send you the link.
That's wild.
Um,
Yeah, please.
but
That's awesome.
because the only thing with it is once you've changed the time of day, it's that time of day until you do it in another one, so you can't change it.
Oh,
It
okay.
doesn't progress. So that's why they say to make a manual save. So,
Hmm.
but you can go to sunny days, you can go to night time, you can go to rainy times. I'll send you a link on it.
Hmm.
I haven't tried it yet, but yeah, no, it's one way to try and change the day.
That is really cool.
The only thing I've tried is getting up as high as the aeroplanes in the sky. That's really good, really good. But no, it was good. It was a good game, and I think one of the questions later, which I think we've just answered now, really, was obviously October was a massive month. Which games did you buy? So
Yeah,
you obviously bought Spider-Man.
yeah. That's pretty much it. I'm slacking in that department. I need to catch up with everybody and play everything.
It was such a busy month for games, though.
It
It's
was.
so many games.
Yeah, I really want to play Alan Wake 2 just because the environments look insane. It looks so
It
good.
looks so good.
Yeah.
Might have to wait. Might have to wait till they add the photo mode.
Yeah, that's definitely what I want to do, and I need to play the first one too because I haven't.
Me neither. Me neither. Not played it. But apparently, there's a really good the because you're playing two characters in the second game.
Hmm.
I think when you're playing the female lead, is it does a really good job of kind of catching you up on the story without just telling you the
Oh,
whole story.
I
From what
see.
I've
I
heard,
see.
so
Hmm,
so yeah, no,
that's good
that
to
does look
know.
really really good.
Hmm.
So is there a game that you love that currently doesn't have a photo mode that you would love to have one in? And Dom on X also asked this question.
Um, I thought about this a lot, and I couldn't really come up with an answer. Um, but I would say Stray just because cats. Um, yeah, that's pretty much what I came up with.
It needs one, doesn't
It
it? It
does.
really does need one.
Yeah. And
So do you play on console or PC or both?
yeah, well, actually, I could not think of a game for that same reason because I'm also on PC, but
Uh,
I haven't gotten around to learning that whole, modding PC tools aspect. So
yeah.
I feel like I could have photo mode in any game if I wanted to. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. Um,
Next on the list.
Next on the
That'll be
list.
next on your learning list.
Yeah.
It does look like hard work sometimes though when you see people who video setting up the
Yeah.
tools and taking the
And
pictures.
it's also you feel like a bother asking for help.
It's never a bother asking for help. I'm sure Shinobi or anybody who plays on PC would more than happily show you how to use PC tools if you wanted to. Definitely. But yeah, it's Stray, definitely. Stray was
Stray is
such a lovely
very,
game.
very cute game.
It's a good answer for that one. So do you plan your shots or are you more of a spontaneous snapper when you take your shots? It catches your eye, you take a picture, or do you have an idea? Um, and Saraki asked this as well. Do you have a
Hmm.
theme in mind when you're capturing your images, or is it just spontaneous?
Um, for the most part, it's spontaneous. I'll just walk around until I see something. But there are those rare moments when I'll watch something or I'll see something and I'm like, hey, I can do this in this game and I'll try that out. Um, like a certain mood or a certain um landscape that reminds me of a certain game, so I'll load that up and usually when I'm looking at photography, it's most of my inspiration comes from.
And do you find when you take a shot in the game, do you then kind of take some shots. Thinking of sets now, and this is from Sarah as well.
Hmm.
So if you're posting a set of shots, do
Hmm.
you try and go for kind of a storytelling aspect in the set, or is it just you've taken these shots in the game, they look good together, and you put them together?
Yeah, that's basically it. I take a lot of stuff. Um, for The Last of Us, I have thousands of shots that I still haven't even posted. They're probably junk, but I will usually just snap away, and then when I go to share stuff or what am I gonna post today, I'll go through my files and oh, these are similar, so I'll share these together.
Yeah, I love the honesty on that. It's like, no, I'm not telling a story. I just chuck it all together.
Yeah. I think I used to do that, but it's very time consuming. So for the most part, I just, hope for the best.
You wing it. You
Yeah,
wing it. Hope
for
put
sure.
it all together. So Johnny Bagels has asked, and this is quite a good question. Is
Mm,
you obviously a lot of your shots as if you see it and it looks good, you'll obviously go into the photo mode, that kind of thing.
mm.
How do you know when the shot that you're trying to get is ready to be captured?
Um, hmm.
It's a
It's a good
difficult one, isn't
one.
it?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm hardly ever excited about what I take. It's usually like, oh, this is cool. I'll take it. I'll take a picture of this. And there's those rare moments when I'm like, yes, this is the one. This looks so good. I can't wait to share this. So I guess, when I feel that excitement is when I know that it's ready or it's good enough.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
because
That's a good answer.
I'm sure we've all felt that at some point where it's like, I can't wait to post this one. This one's great, but those,
Oh yeah. You get that little buzz, don't you? And then like,
yeah,
oh, I can't wait to share it.
uh,
And it's normally the one that you share and it's the one that completely bombs on likes and you're like,
always happens.
yeah.
Oh man. Well,
So on so Uko's asked, on average, do you spend more time in the game? I think we've touched on this earlier that
mm,
you're quite quick with taking shots. Do you spend more time on taking the shot, lining it up, or editing it? Get me words out.
um,
Do you do you get more time setting up the shots or editing it afterwards?
definitely editing it because that's the process that I enjoy the most.
Yeah,
Um, I love VP obviously, but I feel that when you edit a shot, that's when you can truly make it your own and just put that love and care back into what the developers, the work that the developers put into their games.
definitely, definitely. No, I think I'm the same. I take shots so quickly. So many of them don't even see the light of
I
day.
know they're just collecting dust and
Yeah, they're just stuck in Google Cloud somewhere. So this is another really good question. So this one's from Cinemane VP.
okay.
Is if you could have a game created just for you, what would it be, or what would it be like?
Ooh, I love this one. Actually,
It's brilliant, isn't it?
yeah, it was a tough one, and it took me a while to come up with something. And I was actually discussing it with Bianca last week,
Yeah,
and yeah, I mentioned how or we talked about how in The Last of Us there's like all these notes and like stories within the notes that you find along your journey. And I think it would be cool to have a game set in that world, but it's not Joel and Ellie, it's not Abby or any of the main central characters. It's the people from the letters, and just seeing how their stories played out in real time.
Oh, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? All the different
Yeah,
scenarios and stories.
yeah, just the different people that existed in that world and how they made it or didn't make it. And I think that would be really cool.
Well, if anybody from Naughty Dog is going to listen to this, Evie's basically just giving you an idea for a game. So work your magic, make it happen.
Make it happen. Come on.
Definitely. No, that sounds really cool. Really cool. So, everybody listening, we've got a couple of questions left.
Hmm.
Then it'll be your chance to ask a question live to Evie. So, if you do want to ask her a question live, pop in your speak request now, and then we'll come to you in a couple of questions' time, and you can ask your question live. Don't be shy. If you want to ask a question, no matter how small, silly, big, pop a speak request in, and we'll speak to you in a couple of minutes. So, over the past 5 years, the virtual photography community's
Hmm.
changed a lot. What's your favourite thing about the community, and what is kind of the next evolutional step in the community you'd like to see it take?
Um, I know that the a lot of studios are starting to take more notice in VP, and I think that's really cool. When I first started, I wouldn't really see much of that. Um, but I hope that they take more involvement um and they see the value and the marketing potential that VP offers for the games. It's really cool seeing like Naughty Dog be more involved recently, and Gorilla, Insomniac. They've always been great. Um, I think the best thing about the community, though, is the people themselves. Um, I think it's great that we all share that common interest and just the passion.
Yeah,
Just feeling like you're part of something bigger, and not just with the games. You know, you feel like there's a sense of belonging, and um, yeah, there's a lot of great people within the community that are just looking for that space with like-minded individuals, and
yeah.
it's nice.
I'd have to agree with you. Have to agree with you. It's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really nice. It's probably my favourite part, to be honest. The people,
yeah.
and this obviously included speaking to the people. It's so nice to get to know the people um, behind the shots.
Hmm.
Just speaking to people in general. Everybody's generally friendly.
Yeah, I
Um,
think sometimes we tend to forget that there's a human behind
yeah,
the screen, and we look at the pictures and we keep scrolling and we don't think anything of it. But at the end of the day, we're all just people trying to share something that we like, and trying to, you know, find that group, or that, I don't know. It's neat. It's neat to see.
it is neat. It's neat. It's just great to have like-minded people sharing the passion that you love, isn't it?
Hmm.
So we've obviously touched a bit earlier about advice on dealing with certain situations, but
Hmm.
what advice, if any, would you have for any new or old VPs in the community that you would give them about anything to do with VP or the community? What advice would you give?
Um, just try to get to know people. Try to be involved and be a part of the community, because I feel that that's very important, especially if you're trying to grow your account. Um, to kind of just interact with people, and you don't have to get to know them on a personal level or anything, but just yeah, just try to have a sense of involvement, just any kind. Um,
It's good to talk, isn't it?
yeah.
Good to talk.
Um,
It does-
also, um, just stay humble. It doesn't matter how many people follow you or how many studios follow you, or just do it because you like it and it brings you happiness, and you're not focused on the wrong things. I think if you maintain that, you'll always find the the inspiration, because it I don't know, that should be more important than seeking that validation.
Definitely, definitely. You've got to do what you love,
Hmm.
and just post what you love, and
Exactly.
whatever you want from that will
Everything
come,
else
won't
is
it?
secondary. Yeah. I think
Exactly.
you'll burn yourself out if that's in the forefront of your mind. And I think that's essentially what has kept me around for so long, is just, you know, it's nice to just be able to express yourself in some way and have that creativity.
Definitely, definitely. I completely agree. Brilliant advice. Brilliant advice. And I can see already that Bianca's literally chomping at the bit to get on live
Oh
and
my
ask a question.
goodness, the
She,
introvert.
she she pressed that request button so quick when I said that. Hang on, let me just accept her request.
It's gonna make me cry, isn't
Okay,
she?
Bianca, are you there? Are you there, Bianca?
I am. Can you hear me?
I think you are.
Ah,
Hi.
while y'all were talking all this shit, I'm just shocked. Well, first of
Oh
all,
my goodness.
let me just say that I'm proud of you for doing this, okay? There's
Oh,
so
thank
many people here
you.
that absolutely love you, and we wanted to know more about you. And you gave so much good advice, and you know how to articulate your thoughts and feelings. And I just want to say personally that, oh my gosh, this this interview was the interview for me for this year because you're so
Oh,
special
thank
to me.
you.
Yes.
Oh,
So
that's so sweet.
with all further ado, I do have a question, okay? Um,
Okay.
and I totally forgot it, but I wrote it down. Hold up. Okay, so it is called, I said, uh, hold on, guys, I'm panicking. What game is popular but you don't actually like?
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Um, hmm. Damn, I can't think of one.
Lisa said to me, "You better not say Death Stranding or she's going to do something."
No, no,
Yeah.
it's not Death Stranding. Definitely not. Shit. Um,
Okay, I'm gonna go a list of these games and you just tell me if it's a nay or
okay.
a yay, okay? Because you know how I feel about Horizon Forbidden West, right?
Yeah,
Do you like it? What do you
I
like about it?
do.
What don't you like about it?
I do like it. It wasn't amazing. Like the story wasn't great, but I do like the environment, and the world is beautiful.
It's the
So
most beautiful environment, right? Yeah.
yeah, so I can't say that I hate it or that I don't like seeing VP from it. So I don't know.
Damn, I'm
I
trying to
have to
think
say,
what I have. Oh, what's up?
I have to, I have to say, I find Aloy annoying. I know it's
Oh,
probably unpopular.
yeah, no, no. I get it.
The
I get it.
game. The game,
I think
the game's
I
beautiful. The
think it's
game's
just too
beautiful.
much Aloy.
I think she
It's
is
an
beautiful as a
oversaturation
character,
of
but
Aloy.
yeah.
But I don't think she's annoying. I think there's just too much of her.
I'm going to get so much hate for that comment.
Well, if you don't know now, you got to tell me later. You got to tell us
Yeah,
later.
I don't know. I'm actually stuck with that one because I don't
How,
think I've ever scrolled my timeline and been like, "Ugh, stop posting this." You
Just
know,
gave a
it's
shit. Yeah, I know.
yeah, people can play whatever they want and post what they want. So I don't know. It's a tough one.
There's a lot of
uh,
people here that heard that question, so I'd like to hear your thoughts too. Okay, that's it. That's it for me.
Thank you, B. Thank you for coming on.
Thank
Does anybody else
you.
got a question for Evie while we have her on? Don't be shy. Pop in a speak request. I know Cynthia or Jack, you never let me down. And this is the embarrassing part where they do let me down. Or Son, you're on. You always come on and ask a question or throw out a compliment. Here we go. Bran. Let's get Bran on. Just approving your request, Bran. Bran, are you there and can you hear us?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All good, man. All good.
Hi.
So I got a question for Eve. I know we haven't
Hi.
talked really, but I
Uh-huh.
always enjoy seeing your stuff on my feed. And I
Thank
have a
you.
question. What's your favorite or most memorable moment for you in your journey in virtual photography?
Favorite moment.
This interview. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Probably when I saw that Neil Druckmann followed me. That was crazy.
Wow. That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, that has to be up there. And I not a lot of people know that because I don't like to, you know, talk about myself or anything, but you asked, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely it.
That's a good one.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I know everybody kind of everyone's different, and when they're sharing their virtual photography, I feel like different people have different things or goals.
Mhm.
And I didn't know if you had any goals during your journey, sharing your work or not. But yeah. But thanks for answering my question and keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Bran. Thanks for coming on. We've got 3 more requests coming. They're coming in thick and fast now. Let's go. I'll tell you what. Let's go Cinemane VP first.
Okay.
Let's get you on. Cinemane, can you hear us? Are you there?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
My question was, what's a feature you've seen added in a photo mode that you wish was in more?
That's a good one. Probably the one in Ghost of Tsushima. The ability to change the weather. I think that's probably my all-time favorite feature.
Good choice.
I actually
Yeah.
agree with that.
Because the good thing about that is it doesn't change the time of day, but it changes the light as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you have the time of day and then you have the weather. So that just, you can create so many different shots um with that one feature, which, as a landscape VP, like it's the best. It's really useful.
Right
Thank you.
answer.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for coming on
you.
and asking the question. Okay, who we got next? Let's go Cynthia next.
Ooh, Cynthia.
Cynthia's coming on. Cynthia, are you there? Are you there, Cynthia?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hey, hey.
Hi.
Hey.
What's up,
What's
Evey?
up? Oh my
Yay.
goodness, I did it.
I'm so proud of you. You did so good, too.
Oh my goodness. Thank
I
you.
knew you could,
Thank you
though.
for motivating me.
You're welcome, of course. My only question is,
Uh-huh.
you're probably gonna hate me, but what is one thing in your VP, anything it could be, that you would like to improve? Because we already know that, you're a master of what you do and everything, but what is one,
Oh no.
is it a style of shot or a technique or
Uh-huh.
something that for you personally you would like to work on, get more knowledge about or whatnot?
Um, that is actually a very, very good question. For sure, I think portraits.
Ah.
And yeah, I'm actually very excited for that remaster, Last of Us Part 2, simply for
Mm-hmm.
that reason because the first few portraits that I ever tried was Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to go back and, with everything that I've learned and shoot that game all over again. It should be fun. And then with all the added stuff.
Well, I
So
can't wait to see
I'm
them.
definitely portraits, and also they take a long time. Oh my God.
Yes, but you've
And
had
it's
some
quite
really
good.
good
And
ones.
Cynthia, you're amazing at portraits. Like that Miles one that oof, so good.
Oh, thank
I
you.
melted.
We're here to talk about you, though. I'm glad you liked it. I can, like, the one portrait when I think of you that like pops into my head is there's
Uh-huh.
one of Ellie and she has her like hand across, like her whole arm across her face, like across her eyes, like she's been
Oh,
crying.
the black and white one?
And
That was my
yes, and it is
favorite.
so amazing and it's so emotional and it just like reaches inside of you and you like feel her pain. So
Yeah, that was like one of
you
my
got good
first
portraits too.
portraits ever.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
You do have an eye for it. Maybe it's something you just want to like
yeah,
do
I
more of,
gotta
maybe?
take more time. Yeah, have more patience
Yeah,
for sure.
that's the hard part.
Hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you for answering.
Thank you for your question.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
for coming on, Cynthia.
Hope you're feeling better.
Of course. I still sound like shit, so
No.
thank you though. It's like lingering. But
I
thank
can't
you.
believe you're sick again. What's going on?
It's still the same one. It's like I don't know. I don't know what it is. I
It's
start to wonder
definitely
if it was COVID.
it's definitely the weather.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like to blame it on the
Cool.
weather.
Well, thanks for coming on, Cynthia.
Of course. Bye, Evie.
Bye.
And now we've got one more, and the last one is from Sun OG himself. So let's
Oh,
get Sun on.
Spider-Man King. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, Sun, how you doing?
First of all, I do not appreciate you calling me out like that. That was unnecessary, uncalled for. Anyway,
You love it. You love it.
but anyway, Evie, hello.
Hi.
So I just wanted to go ahead and ask, is there a particular kind of shot, so like style or anything, whether it be
Mhm.
abstract, portrait, or anything like that, that you don't take as much of that you'd like to try more?
Actually, now that you mentioned abstract, or minimalism, there's a really good, some really, really talented DPs that do that style all the time.
Hmm.
I know this, I think it's Play Pause Photo. She's amazing at that style.
That's
It's
great.
really good. And yeah, I would like to try something like that, something different. And I feel like it's different, but it's not different enough to what I do. So um it wouldn't feel like it's not me.
Right.
It'll just be a challenge that yeah, it'd be interesting to do.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you for your
Perfect.
question.
Yeah,
That's a good
not a
one.
problem.
Well, thanks for that, buddy. So, Evie, there we
Yeah.
go. You done it.
I did it.
And was it as bad as what you thought it would be?
Oh no, not at all. No, you were great and very you calmed me down. So thank you.
Well, I'm glad I had a calming effect. It's been absolutely brilliant to speak to you. Thanks for coming on. I know it took a
Thank
couple of tries
you.
to
Yeah.
get you on.
I actually didn't get to mention something earlier
Yeah.
when you asked about the my inspirations. I did mention the film and the TV, but I also wanted to give a shout out to the community itself and how amazing everybody is for, I know that everybody goes through those ups and downs, in their personal lives or just within the VP space. And the fact that they're still, you know, coming on here and sharing what they love, and everybody's just so talented and so friendly and amazing, great people. They um, they really do inspire me to keep going. So I just wanted to thank the community.
Good. Perfect, Vicky. Perfect. And I echo that. The community is the best, and
Hmm.
we
It's
none of us would be
the perfect motivator to continue to be engaged and want to do this hobby.
definitely. No, I completely agree. Completely agree. Um, and the community, without the community, none of us would be anywhere, would we? We wouldn't be
Exactly.
sharing what we love or
Yeah,
having this
it would
conversation now
be
or anything.
extremely boring.
Exactly. We'd just be posting pictures to ourselves and nobody would be looking at them.
Tweeting to the void.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know you're a bit nervous, but you didn't come across as nervous at all. I've
Well,
really
that's good.
enjoyed speaking
That's
to
good to
you.
know.
But thank you for coming on. It's
Thank you for
been
having
great.
me.
That's okay, no problem at all. And I just want to say, obviously to you and to everybody else who's taken part in Ask the VP season
Hmm.
1, season 2 coming soon, by the way,
Hmm.
is thanks for getting involved. It's not easy. It's not everyone's cup of tea to speak to people, but really,
Hmm.
thanks to everybody, yourself. I can't list everybody's name because it'd take too long. But part of what we wanted to do with this is to have a format where people could come and talk. I know we
Right.
have a little group to which we talk privately to come and talk about you, find out more about you. And like we said, it's not easy, but people have got involved, and it's really been great to speak to absolutely everybody. And I'm glad people have got out of it what they want to get out of it and find out a bit more about everybody. So thank you to you
Yeah.
and to everybody for making this what it's been over the past, well, nearly 9, 10 months.
Hmm.
And stay tuned for season 2
Can't
coming
wait.
soon. But no, thank you, Evie. It's been really
Thank
great. I'll let
you.
you get on with your day. I can't wait to eat my risotto, so I'm going to go and eat my risotto.
You do that.
It's
Enjoy.
been great. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for listening. And I'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Evie. Bye.